Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora in this channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give us a big thumbs up and share the broadcast. Thank you so very much, family. France has just been taking all kinds of losses. I don't care how long she stays in the boxing ring. She keeps losing every round. How many of you all know that the Sahel countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and so forth, has kicked them out? How many of you all know, what is it, Chad and Senegal? They've kicked them out. They just cannot win for losing. Well, in the latest string of losses for France is now Ivory Coast. Yes, family, I want you to watch this brief clip.
Pour la suite, ce sera la visite guidée après le dévoilement du...
Le monde change, il évolue vite, et il était évident que notre relation de défense devait, elle aussi, évoluer et reposer davantage sur l'avenir, des perspectives d'avenir, face aux réalités des menaces, aux réalités de ce monde devenu complexe, encore plus complexe qu'avant sur le terrain sécuritaire. J'y reviendrai, et non pas une relation de défense qui ne s'inspirerait que du passé.
Honorables invités, les mutations géopolitiques et les enjeux sécuritaires actuels dans le monde, particulièrement sur le continent africain, doivent guider notre volonté commune de promouvoir une sécurité partagée pour une stabilité régionale durable. La réorientation, la reconfiguration de notre collaboration en matière de défense sont donc légitimes, car nous devons adapter nos postures opérationnelles en tenant compte de l'évolution du monde.
Le camp militaire général de corps d'armée.
Fam, did you see the excellence and the finesse and the swag with which the Ivory Coast military and troops move compared to France's? Now, watch this. France knows that they're losing really, really, really bad. So they're trying to stop their humiliating losses by trying to make it appear that either it was their idea or as if it was mutual, right? Well, see, the problem with that is if you look at previous coverage, media stories and coverage of what's really going on, you will find it a few months ago. What does this headline say? Why Ivory Coast and Senegal asked French troops to leave. So while they're trying to make it seem like they're just simply handing over the keys and kicking out their troops, no, baby, they're celebrating with this ceremony. Get out. This is something for all of us to break out into celebration for. Yes. This article from a couple of months ago says, in a major shift in West Africa's security landscape, Ivory Coast and Senegal regional economic powerhouses have ordered France to remove its troops from their territories. The withdrawals will mark the effective end of a decades-long military presence by France and Senegal and the Ivory Coast. The article goes on to question, but why is this happening? And of course, it gets into this so-called political scientist who's given his 2 cents about why he believed that's the case. He says that I think that the African politicians want to diversify their relationship, especially the countries of the global south, such as China, Turkey, Brazil, Arab monarchies of the Gulf, but also with Russia. It talks about how Ivory Coast and Senegal are following in the footsteps of the Sahel countries. Of course, I just mentioned that are fighting war against jihadists linked to Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. Family, they love to throw that in there. But how many of you all know that those are just names for U.S.-backed, European-backed, French-backed organizations? Those of us that we found, we've done plenty of coverage showing that the West has been certainly involved in the proliferation, credibly accused of proliferating and sponsoring those very organizations. Yes, and of course, we're seeing what's going on in Syria, and so we can prove in no limited time that if they're going to put a known terrorist that the United States had a $10 million bounty on his head and make him the head of state, then Lord knows, well, you know, all the other stuff, it shouldn't be far-fetched. The credible information that we have given you in testimonies and stories and coverage about the West mess making in the so-called terrorist organization in those African nations. Shout out and salute to Ivory Coast. That's why I came, because I wanted you all to see, baby, this was a celebration. France is trying to make it seem like it's just tea time, baby. It's not tea. They told y'all just a couple of months ago to get out, kicked out. And I wanted to remind you all of this. Of course, this is just the beginning. There is with the type of enemy the opposer that you're dealing with that's used to literally making their living, their livelihood has been dependent upon you and your resources. Beloved, you better believe that they're going to be trying to figure out all sorts of sneaky ways to stay in your country and to make mischief, to cause divisions. But I pray that they don't let that happen. Of course, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be warfare or weapons formed against you, but it just means that they won't ultimately prosper if everybody stands together and be in it for the long haul. Yes, my name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. Be sure to check out my spiritual school, the Vicki Dillard Mystery School, at my website at VickiPlanet.com. I have all kind of wonderful products and services there as well, VickiPlanet.com. Of course, share the broadcast here. I can't wait to